welcoming you all to
This meeting is being recorded.
21st knowledge sharing platform that we have. As the gentleman who has joined, the lady who has joined here knows that we are into the third year of sharing our knowledge across our teams, showing that that the what are the good practices that are existing that can be shared and practiced for the benefit of industries so that the final benefit is the worker who is there working in the industry, his life is safe. That's the whole purpose that we have been doing that. And this knowledge sharing platform is a forum. Basically we have started almost in August 21. We are into 21st year. And normally we do it internally, this program. And once in quarter we invite external faculty to join us. And
Sir, you are on mute, sir. Rao, sir, you are on mute.
yeah, okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome you all to this 21st knowledge sharing platform that we have as part of our construction safety best practices sharing forum, part of Chola MS. The team who is joining us from J&A, Bharat. Many of you know Chola MS Risk Services. They are there for last 28 years, managing the risk services in India. We are in Kuwait, we are in other countries, we are in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. The whole purpose of this knowledge sharing platform is to bring to the our employees, our experts who are in the field to the best practices so that the utmost benefit person is the worker. So his life is safe. So that's the purpose we have been doing it. We are into the third year, and part of this we do normally internal own program. Once in a while, once in a quarter, we invite external speakers to share with us the best practices. We had faculty coming from Singapore, faculty from Canada, UK. So those are the best practices we try to share across our teams, specifically related to the construction safety. It could be scaffolding related, it could be lifting rigging, it could be, ensuring work at height. We had a professor, very experienced senior level professor from Singapore, talk to us on work at height. So that way we have different faculties coming and talking to us. So we realize that, talking to J&A Foundation will be helpful to us to bring us the knowledge that they are sharing. How I came to know, I had a friend who has shared with me J&A Foundation's recent, interactions. We call it outreach program on human factors. The lady from Saudi Aramco was talking to us, so I participated in that meeting. I found it's a very excellent way.
You're muted.
You went on mute, sir.
I think it's going on mute. Thank you, Ashok sir, for your gesture that when I reached out to you, even a very short notice, you put forward a excellent team and accepted our invitation to be part of our this knowledge sharing platform. As I mentioned to you that our Subbarao sir, you know him, and you know Mr. Sendil Raja sir is our business head. We are very much into the construction safety. We are operating more than 35 sites exclusively on construction safety.
Nice.
No doubt, Chola MS is predominant on process safety, but lately, last 15 years, we are very strong in construction safety. So whether it is the scaffolding safety, rigging and lifting, work at height, excavation. So we are predominantly very strong with respect to the construction. And because of that, we are trying to bring forward good practices or call it the best practices and pass on to the industry. So that the ultimate benefit is the worker. So that's how we are trying to make sure that. So thank you, Raghuvaran sir, for joining us from wherever. I think you are in US now or Kuwait.
He's in
Dubai
Dubai
right now.
Okay.
7, 8.
So I request Madhu sir to introduce our special invitees, Ashok sir and Jitu sir, and also Raghuvaran. So over to Mr. Madhu. Mr. Madhu.
Yeah, Mr. Madhu maybe is having any issues, connection.
Right, sir. I think
I'll
I
take
will
over.
introduce.
I will
Yes, sir.
take
Please
over.
you go ahead, sir.
Yeah,
Please
no
go
problem. Namaskar and good afternoon to you all from Kuwait. My name is Ashok Garlapati, and my fellow trustee, Mr. Jitu Patel, who is on the line, and our functional committee chair for the community and corporate engagement, Mr. Madhu Buddha, is also on the line, and our subject matter expert of the today's topic, Mr. Raghuvaran Chakravarthy, safety director, Gilbane Building Company, Federal Division from USA, is also on the line. So first, we would like to thank Mr. Rao for connecting the dots, and this is appreciated. And today we are almost 4 days back, we have been in touch, and today we are sitting and talking to you all, sharing some of the good best practices. So I just want to briefly talk about our countdown started now 15 minutes from now. We'll be talking about the J&A Foundation. Before that, I have a very important slide to be spoken to you all. This is kindly mute your microphones. This is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, because we do not want any disturbance in the presentation, in the proceeding. And kindly switch off your camera, and only you can switch on whenever you want to speak. You can post your queries, comments as we are moving forward. And this meeting is being recorded for the future reference. And for those who are unable to attend today, again, as we communicated, kindly register your name, company, designation, phone, email ID in the chat box for our future communications. And please stay for ceremony group photo at the end of our session today. Most important thing is we are starting today, but we do not want to stop with this session. Our journey should continue of sharing the best practices. And we have given the link in the chat box. That click that link, you will be in the knowledge hub of the J&A WhatsApp group. So a lot of communication is going on, a lot of best practices are going on there. You can be part of that round the clock. Somebody sleeps in India, somebody wakes up in US. So around the clock knowledge sharing is there in that WhatsApp group. Kindly make sure you click that link to join. With that, I would like to, of course, Mr. Rao was kind enough to introduce our background of our session today, and we are going to have a brief introduction of our speakers from J&A Bharat HSC Foundation as well as J&A Global HSC Foundation. Then we will go into the best practices, really truly best practices, which Mr. Raghuvaran is going to share, which can be really implemented with a very, very minimal cost, not even the cost required also sometimes, because I was going through the presentation, it's very interesting. And we are going to talk about the top 10 proven best practices to enhance construction safety. And then, as Mr. Rao suggested, we are going to have a brief discussion on the synergy between J&A and Chola MSRS. With that, let me go into the first point of the highlighted point. So that's about our J&A Bharat HSC Foundation. As you see on the screen, this is Mr. Jitu Patel, one of the fellow trustee, and myself, Ashok Garlapati. Mr. Jitu sitting in US. And to talk briefly about Mr. Jitu, he has been in the industry more than anybody's age who are participating today. 55 plus years he is in the industry, and he was the one who started the ASSP Middle East chapter. We called it the Saudi Arabian chapters in 1981. And when he was working in Saudi Aramco, that was the first Middle East chapter he started, and he has been accorded with the fellow honor, which is the highest honor in ASSP, which has been given for the people who are really contributing for the profession, with the employer, with the community, with the society. So he has been honored with that. I'm sure, I'm proud to say that he's the first Indian to get the honor with that, for a particular fellow award. And we would like to, before I go into the really talking about the J&A background, I request Mr. Jitu Patel to briefly address the audience today. Mr. Jitu.
Thank you very much, Ashok ji. Namaskar to everyone on this meeting. Respected executives of Messrs. Chola MS Risk Services, Mr. Subbarao, the CEO, Mr. Senthil Raja, the business head, Mr. N.V. Rao, the principal consultant, Mr. Jyoti Basu ji, and Raja Lakshmi ji, along with the esteemed technical staff of entire operation of this magnificent, humongous construction consulting company. Our today's keynote speaker, Mr. Raghuvaran Chakravarthy ji, Safety Director at Gilbane Building Company in Concord, California. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the governance of the J&A Bharat and J&A Global HSE Foundations, a very warm welcome to you all to this well-coordinated 21st edition of Knowledge Sharing Platform Session. What a wonderful thing that you all have. Everyone knows my co-founding trustee, Ashok Garlapati ji. We just heard him for his remarkable contributions to the HSE profession, who has also developed countless number of HSE professionals globally. I'm proud to share that Ashok ji is the current Vice President of BCSP, which stands for Board of Certified Safety Professional, and he will be the full president of the BCSP effective from January 1st, 2024. Just 2 days ago, at the ASSP's largest and the best performing Kuwait chapter's Professional Development International Conference, he was recognized with the same prestigious highest fellow honor award offered by ASSP, which is the oldest and the largest health and safety professional organization. Also, his employers, Kuwait Oil Company, awarded him with the highest employee honor, and that says it all. Ashok ji, please do us the honor of giving an overview about J&A Bharat and J&A Global HSE Foundations, please.
Thank you, Mr. Jitu, and highly appreciated your brief introduction. My dear friends and our Chola's colleagues, as you see on the screen, it's a world map with a lot of blue flags. These blue flags indicates our together experience of contributing to the safety profession, almost about 9 decades. Mr. Jitu, as I was saying, that 5+ decades, I have a 3+ decades. All these blue dots, blue flags indicates that we have made a significant contributions in the HSE field, either through the ASSP, which is American Society of Safety Professionals, and BCSP, which is the Board of Certified Safety Professionals, or similar organizations. In fact, back in 2012, March 4, 2012, we were the one who installed ASSP India chapter, the first Indian chapter of ASSP, and it is doing a phenomenal job as of now from last 10+ years or so. So I'm sure many of you are members of the ASSP as well. So we just wanted to, we have been giving back to the different countries. We just wanted to give back more to the India. And the foundation, which is a HSE foundation, is something new to India. It's already there in US, it's already there in UK with respect to the IOSH and with respect to the ASSP, with respect to the BCSP. We wanted to do something new to the India. We brought this HSE foundation and we launched officially on the 25th March 2022. We just concluded 1 year of our establishment by Mr. Venki, Dr. Venki of IIT Gandhinagar. And our idea was simple. It's not a membership organization. It's purely a charity supporting HSE profession as well as the HSE professionals. We engage with the professional organizations like Safety Engineers Association of Chennai. We had an MOU with them. We engage with the corporate organizations. We engage with the academic institutions. We engage with the individuals and philanthropists and NGOs as well. We are creating a platform so that people can come and support the HSC profession. There are so many people who wants to do it, but they don't know how to do it. And that's why we created this platform, which is really working well in Western part of the world, but this may be something new to India. That's why we established this one. We wanted to bring some of the best practice of supporting the professionals to India. We have a simple mission, vision, and objectives as well. Our simple mission is to support the HSC profession as well as the HSC professionals. And again, our vision also in line with that. We will be working in line in that direction. Our objectives are very simple in advancing the occupation safety and health profession, to support the promote professional, occupation safety and health as a career choice among the students, to inspire and develop the leaders, provide education and development opportunity for the deserving individuals, extending humanity. We recognize individuals, organizations, academic institutions. We also collaborate with the university institutions and the state and central government bodies. And we'll also have a MOUs with the similar objectives by signing a memorandum of understanding. We have currently 2 MOUs with the Safety Engineers Association of India, as well as the Center for Public Safety and Environment from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We have these 2 MOUs. We have, our foundation is officially registered in Hyderabad as per the rules and regulations. We have our own IT requirements as well as the bank accounts, everything. Currently, we have the 2 programs or 3 programs, I can say. One is the foundation's professional development grant program. That means any professional who wants to really improve his skills, our foundation is providing the grants. And we have another program called the I think I can mute everybody, but some people are making a disturbance. So I will mute everybody and unmute myself. That's better, I think. Yeah. So, okay, you can hear me loud and clear, correct? Yeah. So I was talking about the HSC Foundation's Industrial Accident Victim Family Support Program. Raghu, you can hear me, correct? Yeah, okay. So that's basically, a lot of people are, getting injured in the workplace, and they are unable to provide the support to their families because of the lot of rules and regulations, poor insurance, informal sector. So we wanted to have some sort of a industrial accident victim family support grant. Basically, when a person is getting killed because of the poor safety practices, Mr. Rao was really highlighting during his introductory remarks. What he was telling, that our ultimate aim is to protect the worker at the work site. That's what our ultimate aim. If something goes wrong, we want to support this his family or her family through this particular grant. And this is very interesting scholarship program we have. It is called the J&A Keval Shanti Scholarship Program. Dhruti Thakkar, she is from Gujarat, but she settled in US, in New Jersey. She wanted to give it back to India, and she doesn't know how to do that. Then she approached us, and basically Keval and Shanti are grandfathers, and from mother side and father side. So on her request, we have introduced this particular scholarship program. She will be sponsoring the fund for this particular program. So every year, 4 students will be honoring with this particular scholarship fund. For 2022, we honored from the NICMAR. I'm sure many people from the NICMAR here. So we honored 2 girl students as well as 2 boys from Hyderabad colleges or institutes who are pursuing the safety program. Professor Ramana is our chair for the particularly taking care of this particular student and mentoring program. So he was really making a huge contributions through our foundation. And of course, I'm sure many of you are HSC professionals. If you want to give a helping hand to us, you're welcome. Just go to our website, fill up this particular contribution form. Contribution need not be in the financial way. It can be in the knowledge way. It can be the advocacy, like Mr. Raghu is doing that today. He is just supporting us in sharing the knowledge. So it can be in any way you can support the foundation to meet its objectives. We have the expression of interest form on our website. You can really share provide your information. We have the governance body. We have the functional committee chairs to guide us in the we have only created the platform. We are only 2 people, and we need a lot of people who are really interested with the same passion. So we have the governance body, we have the functional committee chair. Mr. Madhu Bura is a chair for the community and corporate engagement. He's on the line today. And Mr. Arya Venkatachalam is the one. He's a very really busy person. He said that I want to contribute, but I cannot do it. So we created a position called advocacy. Wherever you go, just word of a mouth. You can always just talk about the J&A, either to the students or to the corporates. We can always reach out to us. That is one of the advocacy. And we also launched the Global HSC Foundation. Mr. Jitu will be briefly talking about why we had established this one in little while. And as part of this foundation's objectives, we do have a monthly outreach and knowledge transfer sessions. So every month we have the knowledge transfer session. On the 17th of this month, almost a week back, after 4 or 5 days, so we have this session talking about the essential role of the safety and health in ESG and sustainability by Kathy Seabrook. She's a past president of the ASSP. She's a fond of the connecting dots, she will always say. So she will be our subject matter expert. Kindly, I will be posting this particular link to in the chat box, as well as sharing with Mr. Rao. Kindly take your time. We are scheduling these calls 8:30 p.m. in India time, so that you are comfortable to attend. In the work time, maybe it will be difficult for you. So 8:30 p.m. India time, you can attend. So our intention is only thing, I think we are almost completing 2 minutes more. So let's give back to create a safer tomorrow. Your support to the J&A Bharat as well as Global Foundation helps in fulfilling its objectives of helping HSC fraternity and beyond. We have several donors for the Bharat as well as the Global Foundation. We continue to thank them. We would like to have more of them in our support as well. And now let's continue with the third point of the agenda of the top 10 proven best practices. Before that, I would like to request Mr. Jitu about the Global HSC Foundation in 1 minute, so that we can go with the time.
Thank you, Ashok ji, for highlighting the foundation's objectives. I stress that the J&A Bharat Foundation is a charitable organization and is established to enhance the value of the profession and to help fulfill the dreams of the deserving individuals to becoming fine HSC professionals and leaders, who in turn would make a safe nation and extend humanity to protect people, property, and environment all over. The mission was expanded to serve globally, also from the United States under the name of J&A Global HSC Foundation. Donations are tax deductible. Your gift today can make a big difference for the deserving young HSC students. The purpose of establishing the HSC Foundations is to give back. Objectives aim to promote scholarship programs for students pursuing HSC programs, support accident victim family, conduct community HSC awareness programs, and recognize individuals and corporations for making a difference with excellence. Monetary contribution is a true inspiration in preparing the next generation to effectively combat the problems that we currently face. Donors will have the liberty to choose the name of the scholarship or grant or honors and award programs where their money is going to. We greatly appreciate everyone's commitment to creating the future of HSC in India and also globally. Thank you, Ashok ji. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Jitu Saab. I'm sure it's almost 2:30 a.m. to you, but you took a pain to wake up so early to address our friends here today. We truly appreciate your commitment from almost 6 decades to the HSC profession. With that, we would like to go ahead with our next topic, the most important topic of today's session. Mr. Raghuvaran Chakravarthy, you see so many letters there: MS, GSP, SMS, CHST, PMPGradIOSH. He's a safety director of Gilbane Building Company, Federal Division, Concord, CA, USA. I'm proud to inform you that he has been given a BCSP Award of Excellence almost on 27th of April in Indianapolis. I was really there. I was lucky to honor his award being given by the BCSP president, Mr. Bruce, on 27th April 2023. So please join me in congratulating. He has got a series of a lot of experience. He's currently working for the regions of US, GUAM, Japan, Middle East, Africa, and Europe. He's focused on the construction, fuels, and environmental projects. He has been awarded 25 Safety Star Awards from the US government. Most importantly, his career story. It's very interesting. My son was telling, do you know, Dad, his Raghuvaran's story is published in the NSC's Safety and Health magazine. So I came to know about that, and it's very interesting story. I'm sure a lot of young professionals are there in our call from Chola today. Kindly take your time, take a picture of this particular slide. You can go through that particular link and see about Mr. Raghuvaran, how he has made strides in his career. And we really like to listen to him, and very, very interesting personality. Thank you, Mr. Raghuvaran, for sharing your knowledge today. Of course, I don't want to read the full bio of you. It will take 5 more minutes, but over to you, Mr. Raghuvaran.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
you. Yep. Thank you for the great introduction, sir. And I'm glad to be here. And especially I want to thank you, J&A Foundation. I mean, you guys making a difference. I mean, 10 years from now on, you set the seed, and definitely the world is going to see the change. I'm excited to see the future generation. Definitely India is going to lead the world in safest way. So looking forward to it. And thanks for everything you and Jitu Sadhu.
Thank you.
Let me share my screen.
Certainly.
Okay. Okay. Today's topic is construction-based safety practices. And we all know, I mean, all our professionals, when we go to construction, I mean, there is always a challenges. It comes to, I mean, behavioral challenges with our workers, training, and so many other elements. But at the end of the day, we want to do everything that we can to help our people, our brothers and sisters and father and mothers going home safe. That's our only goal. And nobody coming to site to get hurt. And all over the world, and especially this presentation highlights some of the practices that we implemented, and I work closely with certain consultants to help them implement best safety practices. That I'm going to share. As Ashok ji mentioned, most of them are cost effective, that we can do it to implement the process to achieve the goal of enhancing workplace safety. Let's get into the topic. The first one, if you look at it, the parapet wall on the background. So this is something that we addressed in the design phase that helped us to mitigating fall hazard in construction. Think about it. During the construction, the parapet wall is like only 2 feet height. So when we closely work with our designer, we ask them to increase the height so we can eliminate the fall hazard. And they did. It's only minimal cost. Imagine, when we work around, you don't need any fall protection equipments because you are inside the parapet wall, which consider as like a guardrails, right? Which protect us to preventing fall. And not only that, once we finish the project, the end user going to work on the roof for maintenance and all other purposes. So they don't need any fall protection equipments as well. So it's a win-win for us also during construction, and also it's a long-time benefit to the end users. So it's one of the great examples that we could easily implement if we closely work with our designers team as early as possible, so we can mitigate that fall hazard, especially at roofs. Second one of the initiatives that I closely worked with a few years ago, we installing a 35-ton precast panel in one of the Middle East projects. So if you look at the panel design, they designed to lift that whole panel. And we noticed that then, and we said, it's not going to work out, and this is not the best way. There is so many other tools available that we can do it very safely. Then we designed this particular lifting eye, including one of the designers from UK. They helped us to design that particular one because of the weight of the precast panel. 40 ton, we had challenges to find the right type of lifting connection. But they're able to provide us, and also they're able to find a right vendor to design that lifting eye, and be able to install 700 plus panels in that particular project without any issues. It goes very smoothly, which means 1 or 2 people around the panel installing the panel. It goes very smoothly. That's something that we highly, proud of, because end of the project, no incident related to rigging that we addressed, because we able to address that lifting eye challenges. So that's something that we are all proud of. Another one, scaffolding. Most of the time when we go to the site, that's what we see. Like, people don't understand sometimes, whoever installing it, what needs to be done. So when we reviewing the challenges from past experience, when we finish the scaffolding design, one thing we did before we get into the site, we called all the workers who is going to install the scaffolding. We explained them the process and the way that we designed the scaffolding. And also we explain them why we designed the scaffolding in certain way, so they can understand and so they can follow the procedures. Once our people understand the purpose of why we are doing this and why we designed the scaffolding in particular way, we can easily achieve the goal, right? Because our people understand. So that's something that we did as a proactive measure, which gives us the great result during our inspection, and also the way we build our scaffolding without any challenges. So consider to involve the people who working on the field as early as possible to go through the process. This is what we are going to do. It could be anything like a scaffolding or excavation, bring them and talk to them and explain them. This is what we are going to do, and this is why we are doing it. Once our people understand it, it will make our life easier to make that safe environment at job site. This is the examples of scaffolding that I was mentioning. So if you look at the scaffolding as well, the another one that we did in construction, we actually maintaining, doing some maintenance work. We are rebuilding this whole building. So we had issues with the parapet wall height because it was built in 1948 or sometime way back. So when we are repairing this building, there's a fall hazard when people working on the roof. One thing we did, when our people installing the scaffolding, we increase the scaffold. You can look at here. So whoever working on the roof right now, they are not exposed to any fall hazard. Our scaffolding actually served as a barrier, as a fall protection. So which is something that we did, and we can able to do easily if we coordinate well with our contractors in well advance. So at the time we finish up the work, we will take out the scaffolding. So our people never exposed to fall hazard. Imagine if you want to purchase a fall protection equipment, the amount of people you need to train, and also amount of people you need to supervise them, right? It's all cost money. When you look at it, this is the easiest way to maintain the workplace safety. We are not minimizing the hazard, we eliminating that hazard. One of the great examples that we did on recently. And this is another project. It's one of the fuel jobs that we did. We did the maintenance. We did the same formula. We designed the scaffold the same way. So whoever working on the roof and repainting the structure, they can stay away from fall hazard. So that's a great way to do it. This is the continuation of the fall hazard that I was mentioning. Not only that particular area, anything that we do. When we starting the job, we get together and we analyze the top 10 safety hazards in the project. What type of safety hazard we are expecting to have in the job site. Of course, we are all know fall protection is always in top, and it's one of the killer in construction industry. So our top priority goes to fall hazard, excavation, struck by, caught between, and electrical safety. So in the fall hazard, we able to mitigate, and the way that we developed our prevention methods, it's perfectly worked out with our contractors. We can able to eliminate as much as possible all the fall hazard. It's the easiest way to do, but we need to coordinate and start this process as early as possible, so that our contractor will have enough time to bring the right materials to to do the work. So that is the key purpose. The earlier you involve, the successor you can be. Another one, risk elimination and risk mitigation. If you look at the rebar caps, I mean, like impalement hazard all over the place in our during civil work in our construction industry. This is something that we have done, closely worked with our designers. If you look at the right side picture, we actually include this rebar bending design with the designer. So that is the design they developed, which means when we are building this one, as per the design, they have to bend that rebar on top, which eliminate the impalement hazard. Nobody going to get hurt, which helps us to address that issue before even we start that work. This is something that we all can do if we closely work with the designer. It's not going to work out in every phase of the construction, but most of the places we can be able to do this design changes and we can address these issues. So which would be a successor for us. And the left side picture, one of the biggest challenges when we go into construction, surveyors using a rebar stick for surveying the work site. The biggest challenge is there's always, they put the rebar stick, no rebar cap, and it's exposed to all others, right? So how we can mitigate? So we come up with the idea, we develop this rebar stick as an example, and we asked our surveyors, why don't you use this particular stick? So we know at any point of time, nobody going to expose to impalement hazard. And first, they're having all challenges. I need to make this stick, and I need to carry them, all kind of challenges. But when they start using it, there's no safety issues around it, and they love it. And also the construction people, our safety team especially love it. I mean, once you started it, once you made this stick, they can carry on forever throughout that project, and they can take it to next project as well. Once you start that initiatives, you can make a difference. Whenever you start something, it's always challenging, but once you did it, it will carry on. Ladders and the stairs. So this is something we are advocating to all our projects, not only in India, all over the world. If you look at the ladder on the left side and look at the right side pictures, imagine if I could use the ladder, it's acceptable, but imagine the amount of people going to the roof, carrying materials, carrying tools all the time. When you calculated the time and the energy the people put when they're carrying on that ladder, when you use the staircase or scaffolding stairs, actually it will help you to improve the production, because a lot of people can work immediately and they can easily carry the tool, they can easily move the materials to the roof as needed. So consider this as a best safety approach when we talk to our client or when we talk to our contractors. Hey, what's your idea to get to that access when we are going to, first floor or second floor, what we can do to mitigate or do something better for our people, which will give us the extra protection when we are using a ladder versus stairs. This is something working out very well. And most of our jobs now, we are not using ladder for access. We actually are using staircase, but the coordination is important. It will not happen like in the last day. We have to coordinate in way advanced so they can bring the materials, they have scaffoldings, or whatever they needed, so they can do it right. So it will help us, and it eliminates a lot of ladder related incidents in our job site last couple of years. Great success story. I'm sure most of you heard about this table saw that won't cut your fingers. So I'm sure that a lot of you see that video on YouTube's and other things. This is actually in our contracts. We put it with our contractors. Anyone that bring the table saw to our job site, they have to use that particular model saw. The way they design this equipment, if your hand or any body parts touching that blade, it doesn't matter how much RPM it's rolling, and it will stop immediately. So there is an experiment video available in YouTube, and you can check it. It's one of the best devices that we ever come across that won't hurt any humans. Imagine if you accidentally, like put your finger on, it will stop, even it will not scratch your skin. How good it is. It's one of the great inventions. So we are advocating for this particular tool. It's very cost effective as well. You are going to buy a table saw anyway, buy the right one. Maybe it's additional cost, but it's not going to hurt you. Imagine when we look at our incident data, how many people getting hurt, how many people losing their finger. If you buy the right equipment, people will love it. That will enhance your safety culture that management can show to our people, I'm care about you, I'm getting your right equipment to protect your finger. That set the tone for everybody. So look at this SAW and help your contractors to understand, there is a products available that we can do better to enhance the workplace safety. And another best practices for fall protection, again, we worked in one of the project recently in the Middle East, and the same that we implemented in some of the India projects as well. We are changing the existing roof. The building is 30 feet height, angle. We are having a challenges on fall protection. So during the RFP process, request to proposal, we sit with our our client and end users, and we explain them there is a fall hazard. We have equipment on the roof, which means once we finish, somebody needs to go to the roof to maintenance the whole equipments time to time, which means they are exposed to fall hazard. Why don't we install some freestanding fall protection equipments that would prevent all these issues and also help us to build, replace the roof. And they think about it, they actually paid for everything. I mean, imagine they look at like a long-term safety. They paid for that, and we bought that equipment in advance, and we installed it, and we finish our work without any fall protection issues, and we turn over to our client, and this is the permanent solution for them as well. So this is one of the great case studies. I actually wrote a case study for that one, how we could be beneficial if we sit with our client and end users as early as possible to discuss some of the hazards, so we can have that money in advance to address the long-term solution for safety. This is one of the challenging parts that we always miss out in construction whenever we purchase a equipment. I mean, there's different types of equipment, especially chillers and generators or substations. One of the biggest challenges at the time we getting that equipment, there's no proper lifting aid available, right? It's a last minute and we cannot make a changes. So in all our projects, whenever our contractors, we award the contractor to contractors, they submit our equipments for approval. The first question we ask, make sure you involve us to work with the manufacturer to design the right type of lifting eye. Equipment maybe come from US, maybe come from UK, maybe manufactured in Singapore. Imagine if you are installing the equipment in India, you don't have the same type of equipment they're designed for. That's where the challenges come. That's where the rigging challenges come. That's where people taking shortcut. So we always tell our manufacturer, hey, this is the type of rigging equipments actually available. And we want to make sure you design the lifting guys to meet this purpose. So I don't want to spend thousands of dollars, or tons of money on rigging gear. This is what we have. We're happy to utilize this one, and we are very comfortable, but we want to design the lifting gear that fits for this one. And guess what? The amount of manufacturer that we involved, they're happy to redesign the lifting eye the way we want, and which helps us in the field to do it very safely without any challenges. Even before they produce the equipment, we have all type of rigging gear available. Pretty much the whole rigging plan is ready even before they started. One of the great practices, again, you need to be proactive and you need to ask these questions as early as possible to get the better result. Another lifting, fall protection anchorages that I want to highlight, specifically in the mechanical rooms. Whenever we do the construction, we go there, we build our product, and we finish and we come out. Think about the people who is doing a maintenance. They want to remove the pump, or they want to do the maintenance. They want to remove some of the overhead pipes in the future. There is no fall protection anchorages available, right? So when we went to one of our projects, when we talked to maintenance team, they're really, talking about this, then we think about it. Why don't we install a couple of anchorages when we're doing the construction? It's not only helping us during construction, also when we finish, even 10 years after, anybody go to that particular room for maintenance work, they have anchorages available so they can properly anchor. Otherwise, where they will anchor, because there's no resources available on that particular room. That's where the people take shortcut, let me go and do it. And they slip, and it causes incidents for industrial sector or the end users or maintenance team. During construction, we have that responsibility as well. to think about who is the end user, what they're going to do, how we can help them as well. The small anchorage will serve the purpose and make the big difference. This is how I think. Whenever I go to any project, I always think, okay, think about it. My son or my brother is going to work in this building for the rest of their life. What can I do to help them to work safely? So that's what comes in my mind, and we talk about it and we install this kind of small futures that helps us to carry that momentum forward. So think about it. Another great one, it's especially during construction, we always missed out. If you can look at it, it's one of the levels. We have a ladder access and we have a lot of equipment available. This is what the designer designed with the chain link actually to get the access. So when I visited the site actually last year, I was not happy about it. I look at that one. Imagine you want to carry, go in the ladder, and you have to, in one hand, you have to unhook this one and come into the platform. It's a fall hazard. If it's you slip, you will going to slip. And also, most of the time, people don't put the chain back. It became a behavior, right? Probably they think about something, they forget to put the chain back, which create that open floor and the fall hazard, right? Then I called one of our designers. I said, we are building this one. Why don't we install the automatic gate? You can look at it. It's the easiest thing, and people never going to put any effort. They will walk and they go into it and it's automatically closed 100%. It's easy to install it and it's very cost effective as well. It's not that much cost. And we actually changed the design before we finished the work, and we installed the similar type of gate. So this is the small things that we can do to help not only us and also the end user. Another one, free fabrication is the biggest thing in nowadays in construction industry. And we work closely with our client and end users and our contractors. We encourage them to get the free fabricated materials, which means they pretty much do all the work outside. They just bring the equipment and install it, only a couple of connections, which means there's less human element involved in construction, and also most of the work done outside, which means you remove the hazard at all from construction site. This is just an example for one of the mechanical things that we did, but we do the same thing for electrical, panels, all these things. There's a lot of companies available to do a lot of fabrication stuff. Once you submit the design, they can be able to fabricate as much as possible, which helps us to speed up the construction actually. Imagine you are not going to do any work in the site, particular rooms. They do everything outside, you bring it and you install it. As long as you coordinate it well enough, it will make our life easier to save time and also improve the efficiency of what we do in construction site and cut down a lot of risks and hazards at job site. We are very successful and we improved safe production in our job sites. Last but not least, electrical hazards, it's always in our job site. One of those things that we closely work with our contractors and clients all over the world. Even whenever I go to any projects in India as part of, one of my friends doing a consultant work, we talk about so many things. I encourage them to use battery tools. If you use battery tools, it's easy to carry and it's all lightweight and there's no electrical hazard. Imagine how many times you drag the cords all over the place in water and the cords damage, plug damage. You go to any site, you will see it. If you use the battery tool, cost effective, and it's easy to carry, lightweight, people love it. And also there's no electrical hazard. So you remove the hazard and from the whole process. So a couple of our job site, we actually using 90% of battery tools. When I visited the site, it was a mind-blowing thing. It's like, imagine 90% of the tools are battery tools. All it takes is coordination. We are not asking them to do anything, like excessive or they cannot do. We closely work with them, think about these options that we have. We have a lot of tools available. Why don't you invest in battery tools that would help you to improve the production? And, we can eliminate the slip, trip, falls related to code drill, extension codes and all other stuff. So we usually succeed on this one. This is something that we do all the projects, and they encourage our contractors. If we involve as early as possible in the process, we can be able to address most of the issues as well. So think about it. It's a great opportunity to make a big difference in job site. saying that, I think I have 5 more minutes. I will give it to Ashok ji. If there is any question, I will take it. Otherwise, I will pass it to Ashok ji. Over to you,
Yes,
sir.
yes. There are two questions, Mr. Raghu. Thank you for the presentation and sharing the proven best practices. Mr. Rao would like to know more information on the tabletop chainsaw. Maybe you can send an email to us, so we will share with him.
Yes.
Yeah. And another gentleman by Mr. Informal Huck. Myself, Informal, I want to know, is there any fall protection arrangement when the slab shuttering work is going on in building construction activity?
Yes, sir. We actually having a tool right now. We are using it. I'm happy to send some information to you so you can share.
Yes.
That's actually very, very effective. The way that we're doing it, increase the safe production. I'm happy to send that information to you. Actually, I add that slide, but considering 30 minutes, I keep
I
it.
understand.
But I can send it to
Yes.
you, then you can share, sir. The two
Sure.
information I will forward to you.
Certainly. And Mr. Rao Garu, in case of any further clarification, you can always write to us. Of course, we can have an elaborate discussion on the questions, and there are no more questions on the chat box, so we can move forward with the next point. We have 10 minutes of assigned time. So, Mr. Rao Garu, the discussion on the synergy between the J&A as well as the Chola. So, yes, go ahead, Mr. Rao Garu.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Raghuvaran sir, for your bringing up the quick best practices. And as you mentioned, it doesn't cost much money. I'm very happy, that rebar bending design. As you see, I could see that your intention has been always to talk to the designer. And we always been saying that, when you speak to the designer, it costs zero money, because at the drawing stage, we see that, it's a zero money. That's unfortunately in Indian construction industry, there is a gap here. So our job is that learning from you, we try to, make sure that we try to go back to the designer and see that these kind of simple things can be incorporated. And instead of, fighting in the field, why it should be done like that? It doesn't cost much money. So then one good thing I saw is that, the battery operated is still not populated so much in India. We still have cables and cables, hundreds of cables.
And all
everywhere.
homemade connections put in the plug. Yes. Yes.
That's the worst kind. But in the best organized construction industry where we are working, they are considered to be the India's best organizations on construction safety. They still have this, because they depend on the contractor, and the contractor brings what is cheap for him. So we have this, gaps available to between the safety requirement and ensuring that the safety is there. And the good thing that you pointed out is the lifting eye related thing. I'm very happy with that, because we also struggle with the lifting eye. We are working with many of the contractors how to ensure the safety when we are lifting. So that's one. And very happy with another thing that you mentioned is that, the ladder versus staircase example. That's a wonderful thing. That's again naturally, contractor would like to look at the easy part of it. And whereas if it has been mentioned in the design stage, it's excellent. So there are a lot of things we can work on, and we can interact and go forward. It's the time is short, but I'm just highlighting for the benefit of my team here, so that we go back and try to put on to the contractors to ensure that the practices that are available without much of expense, it can be implemented. So we try to influence our contractors as much as possible. And this kind of knowledge sharing has been very helpful. And I'm sure my team, who is there more than 50, it went up to 60 now. Maybe some people have dropped. So we'll be able to give back to the contractors and organizations where our sites are operating. A lot of very big companies are into ensuring safety during construction. So they want to bring the best practices, but their hands are tied because many times the contractor is not willing to spend money. So these kind of cost effective tools and techniques will change their mind. So that's what our helpful to these sessions will be helpful to us. And there'll be many more of this kind of sharing sessions we think we can plan.
Certainly.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No doubt about it. If Jyoti sir, you are there. If you are there, Jyoti
I'm
sir.
here.
Yes, sir.
Jyoti Basu.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. All, actually, the session was, you're able to hear me, sir?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
hear you.
I will introduce Jyoti sir. Jyoti sir is our General Manager, Construction Safety.
Very
He
nice.
had an interview going on from 1:30, so he could not join immediately. He is
Okay.
so he could join now. Jyoti sir, go ahead.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you for all the dignitaries and the wonderful presentation. Actually, we have just gone through by Mr. Raghuvaran Chakravarthy. Hopefully, whatever the best practices he has shown, actually, that was really like a captivating one, and we all would like to implement in all our sites. Actually, this was safety during design stage. If we take up, then a lot of these things actually will be taken care. Many times actually when we happen to work with the clients during initial phase of the project, actually we try to influence on such practices. As Rao sir has mentioned that rod like rebar cap here, yes, that is actually been used by most of the contractors. But again, the bending thing, that again ultimately it's like corrected at the source. That is the correct kind of actually approach actually we can follow for prevention of any accident. That's what actually we, each one of us as a HSE professional, supposed to do in all the fields. Yeah, obviously, this maintenance part, during maintenance, many times actually we tend not to take care of those people. But even some of our NPC and other things, they are addressing these requirements actually, but not in a like explicit way. So in future, I think we can work with like organizations like you, and we can bring in a lot of other best practices into our like Indian operation. That is what actually is. And I would like to thank the both J&J Global and J&J Bharat this organization, both Mr. Jitu Patel ji and Mr. Ashok Garlapati, and even other dignitaries for giving us this kind of session within a short time. So I think hopefully we will have many more sessions, not only in construction. Hopefully, I think you are giving already this outreach and knowledge transfer program on process safety. We do have our own this KCA program on process safety. Obviously, we can work together on many fronts for increasing the safety awareness and implementation at site level, since we are also working with a lot of clients in India and abroad. And yeah, in fact, we are also one of the board member in this Inogen association. That's again like well-renowned safety and environment consultant present in more than 120 countries actually. Like we are part of that Inogen association also. So we can rope in all these kind of best practices, and always we try to give better services in for our clients wherever we do consulting. Construction safety actually, even we do deploy our own engineers, like owners, engineers kind of thing, because we know the construction is a transition period where actually client also may not like to take the kind of risk by deploying their own resources, and they feel some kind of expertise can be given from Chola MS. Since we have been working in this field for more than 28 years, so that is how actually we are also there. So hopefully, I think we can work together, and synergy can be enhanced for reaping benefits each of our organization. Once again, thank you, sir. Thank you, Jitu sir. I think one of my colleague has told that as soon as we send in this invitation, yeah, actually they are very great people for service of safety. I think, yeah, that is what Modi, Mr. Modi Alpes is there. Yes, just sent in that thing. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
anyway, first time we are interacting, we are very helpful
Thank
for
you,
your
Mr. Jyoti Basu. Thank you so much. And yes, yeah, we look forward, as I was telling in the beginning, that it's only the beginning, not the end. So we'd like to continue our journey and look forward for sharing best practices and Mr. Rao Garu, we identified some of the areas where we can have a synergy between the collaboration. I know it's just too short, but we'll continue our discussion as we display on the screen. So back to you, Mr. Rao Garu. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, this could be one of the potential, a few of the potential, collaboration areas. We'll surely will connect with our Subbarav sir and Senthil sir.
Yes.
I think they were unable to connect today because, as I mentioned, Subbarav sir is in London.
Yeah.
So we will surely will take forward regarding the things that have been put forward, ensuring that there could be a scholarship programs. In fact, we have our own emergency special program at Raivellur,
Yeah.
Medical College,
Okay.
where we are supporting chemical accident, emergency 24/7. There is
Okay.
a lot of people are not aware.
Oh, I
So
see.
the chemical plants are aware of that.
Mhm.
So there's a 24/7 emergency support system is there at VMC Vellore.
Okay.
So the Chola MS is supporting one shift doctor, one shift, the facility.
Okay.
They work 24 hours by 7.
Okay.
So whenever there is a chemical accident is there, many people are not aware. In fact, except the
Okay.
chemical industry guys may know,
Mhm.
and that's also not very much known to many organizations.
I see. I see.
So I just pass on this information that
Certainly.
as a part of our outreach to the community,
Mhm.
the Chola MS is funding
Okay.
one shift complete to ensure chemical safety.
Very good.
So
Very good.
the Raivellur VMC actually what they do is they have a vast information on the MSDS, and they are specialists in treating the chemical accidents, particular treatment methodology.
Mhm.
So they guide the local doctors through the phone.
Mhm.
What is the kind of thing that needs to be done? So
Oh,
it's
good.
available on 24/7 basis.
Very good. Very good. Probably we
So
can have a one session in our outreach session or transfer 1 month, talking about that particular facility, so maybe you can, for the benefit of everybody in India,
absolutely, benefit of India. Yes, we can. We will see how it can. More
Yeah.
information is passed down about this chemical emergency management system.
Certain. Yeah.
It's basically the treatment part of it.
Okay.
What Royal MLC does is that they take
Yeah.
care. What kind of first aid should be done, what's the next level, how quickly they
good.
should do all that kind of thing. So
Perfect.
in any of the chemical accidents, if the company and the local doctors are aware, then they can reach them. So that
Exactly.
has been one of it. So another one is that what you mentioned, J&A Chola Accident Victim Family Support Fund. Yes, surely we can look at that, how it can be worked out. Community outreach program for educating HSC. Yes, this also has been one of our pet project of our Subbarav sir,
Very
that he
good.
would like to encourage many people to move forward to health and safety field
Exactly.
and risk management.
Yes.
So we are internally also encouraging people to go forward, come forward, and educate yourself. So
Perfect.
both of us can surely will work together, see how we can move forward.
Certain.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, as I was telling, it's only the beginning, so we'd like to continue our journey. And
right, sir. Right, sir.
yes. With that, I would like to request Mr. Madhu Buragaru, is our chair for community and corporate engagement, who is sitting in Vizag, but he's a very busy man. He's a president of Rotarian Club. I'm sure he's there, or he got another call. I'm not sure. Let me check on the line.
No, very much. I'm here.
Yes, you are there. Tell me, sir.
Sorry for missing in the initial time of the meetings.
Yeah, no problem.
But later on in the next 10 to 10 minutes, I caught up. And
yes, good. Yeah.
Anyhow,
So
I was just following all the
that's
proceedings.
Good. Yes.
So thank you, Ashok ji, Jitu bhai, Mr. N.V. Rao of Chola MS, Mr. Raghuvaran, and other participants for joining this session today.
It
was a really session, and Ashok ji has given the overview of J&A Bharat and the overview of HSC Foundation by Jitu bhai. And I hope all the participants had understood what the J&A is doing, and I think you should all join together to make this more stronger. So thank you, Mr. Raghuvaran. Your presentation was excellent on the best safety practices and the aspects of technical and the design side issues being taken initially to minimize risk. That is great, and some very good tips, as Mr. Renvi Rao was mentioning. I think they are all simple things, but but very, very useful. I appreciate it. So thank you, Mr. Rao Garu, for introducing MS Chola, and also Mr. Jyoti Basu for your short talk, which was wonderful. As you said, I noted one point. I think NBC is to be upgraded, and in this, if J&A can get into and be a part of NBC, and we give some real good input on construction safety, it will be very nice to strengthen the cause, so that many people will benefit out of it and minimize the risk.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Synergy between J&A Foundation and Chola, I think it is extremely good. All the points mentioned by Mr. Rao were very valid, and I think we should definitely go ahead. Especially, I am very much impressed in establishing the Chola Accident Victim Family Support Fund and the community outreach programs of educating HSC. Yes, sir, this is already in our thought, and we had been discussing in our earlier meetings. I think maybe as days go ahead and you join the J&A, I think we can definitely take it forward. We had an idea of taking it to the colleges and also educating the students on the importance of HSC and create more HSC professionals. So this is what it is. And I think we'll definitely, with your support as a professional in the field in this country, we'll be able to do something good. So thank you very much for all joining together.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We have some few questions in the chat box. I think I'm not sure the time is there, but we would like to thank one Mr. Tata Venkata Surya Prakash. He's our active contributor in the WhatsApp knowledge hub of J&A, and he already shared the chainsaws. I'm not sure. Mr. Raghu can check whether it is he's referring to the same one or different one, but Mr. Raghu also can share it afterwards. With that, Mr. Ankit Singh has asked a question. I'm not sure whether it is a time. There is a time to do for that. I think it all depends on the site conditions. How much time period we can leave a sling, lifting gear in tension during erection. So that was his question. Probably we can answer him afterwards. So with that, I would like to request Mr. Jitu for his concluding remarks. Jitu.
Thank you, Ashok ji. It was a really wonderful session, and we are really proud that Mr. Rao connected this dot, and we were so able to get Raghuvaran to share the best practices of his experience. I just heard all about many different things, but I would also propose and recommend, if there is any expert who would like to volunteer to talk about contractor safety management, because they are the ones who really are the first line of defense or even doers. And if we can manage them rightly, we can save so many accidents from occurring. And in my past active time with Aramco and other chemical industries, I have come across and I worked with on multi-million, multi-billion dollar worth projects handled by Bechtel as well as Brown and Roots. And in some cases, some enormous amount of loss of potential production process setting, as well as during the commissioning, some nasty explosion taking the precious lives all because of contractor were not managed right. And also in the Saudi Arabia, as you all work in the Middle East quite a bit, you just mentioned, Mr. Rao, road constructions in which so many bridges was also constructed under the Bechtel's supervision, and they all within 1 year started to fall apart, and all boils down to contractor didn't do the right thing, didn't use the right specified materials, and so on and so forth. So I thought that it would be worth considering to talk about it, and quite rightly, the chemical, the accidents resulting from chemical hazards. And Mr. Madhu is very much closely associated with so many pharmaceutical industries in India, causing devastation, loss of lives, and environmental problems to that extent. So that would be a good idea, and we will continue to support. And if we are also having any experts who would like to share the best practices in different topics, we would welcome them also. One question to Mr. Rao, if he is willing to share the emails or even some contact, maybe himself and some others who we already now have made contact with, we can also include them in our database and share, in addition to the WhatsApp invitation Ashokji mentioned, we can also share all our what we call outreach knowledge transfer sessions, as well as any other meetings that may be of value to Chola MS risk services, and we will continue working together. Thank you, Ashokji. It would be nice to take one group picture of the all attendees, if you can manage to do that.
Certainly. We will take, yes, we will take everybody. They can open their cameras, so it's always good.
Yeah, request their yes, camera to be opened.
Yes. Yes, very nice.
So now we see all the handsome looking, good looking, and really top of the knowledge-based consultants, specialists in variety of discipline in construction industry.
Perfect.
Wow, wonderful.
So there are many people. I'm going to take 2 times. Okay, first let me say there are 2 screens. So one by one, Mr. Shamir, Joby, Rajalakshmi Madam, Karthik, Vadivelan, they're all maybe, I'm not sure they have the cameras, but yes, they are requested to open it. Mr. Tata is there. Great. Mr. Arun has got 3 people, 3 Aruns, I can say. 1 minute, one more time. Let me copy this and come to the second slide. Okay, go back to Zoom. Yes, the second slide. Good. So with that, we will hand over back to Mr. Let me stop the recording so that if anybody wants to say anything, they can.